Morning everybody, Saturday morning, and I better not flush you, I'm not long out the shower. I haven't got dressed yet. So I thought I'd do my makeup and have a chat at the same time about, well, I suppose things that have been on my mind, that are on my mind, and probably on yours as well. You know, as we go forward into 2022, it's hard, isn't it, not to fear the unknown. I'm using that Garnier Organic to moisturise today, not the other stuff. So I'm using this. It's what's it say? It's rose. Hang on. Velvety soft cream onto a clean face, circular motions. Yeah, I know all that. So it's hard not to, as we go into 2022, not to fear the unknown and challenges that lie ahead, really. In the UK, as from Monday, people have been asked to work from home again where possible. And a teacher was talking to my son yesterday and saying at the school where he teaches, it's horrendous. There's so many kids gone off with COVID symptoms. So it is hard. I'm getting this on my hair. It is hard not to worry, and I worry about my kids more than I can concerned about myself, really. I do, and my grandchildren, of course. And I think the trick is probably not to overcomplicate things, if you can. Try not to think too deeply and overcomplicate everything. Try not to keep using that silly word, if, what, if. You know, if might never happen. If should be taken out the dictionary. So don't think too deeply, don't overcomplicate things. And okay, I'll give you a few aneurysms. No, I shouldn't joke about that. Aneurysms. Analytics. Anna something. So I would say, for a happy life, right? Don't put anybody, I'm thinking of one person in particular on YouTube at the moment, you probably all know who she is. Don't put anybody on a pedestal. Nobody. Do not fall victim to flattery and seduction. Sorry, I'm not showing you. Snap. Scara. Do not fall victim to flattery and seduction. Do not ever put anybody above your family, ever, whatever the circumstances. Don't put anybody above your wife and your husband and your children, parents, extended family. Very important. Just don't do it, because you'll regret it. Keep all that you have, all that you need, I should say, for yourself. You don't need to buy anybody's friendship. You don't need to buy a feeling of self-worth. That's something that's going to come from within you when you finally realise that we are all, every one of us, we're all connected, all of us. Nobody's any better than anybody else. They might be richer. They might be able to dictate what's going on in the country and the policy, governmental policy, but nobody's any better than anybody else. You don't have to buy friendship. You don't have to buy loyalty. If you feel that you do, you are in the wrong relationship. I tried this earlier, yeah. Probably see it. Family is everything. It is your wife, your husband, and marriage. We got married in 65, you know, but it wasn't all plain sailing because I was very young and I was very selfish at times after the first 17 years. It's going threadbare, look at that. But it wasn't all plain sailing, but you know, Alf was always there and we survived and thrived, and what I see with people, many people, and I know my sister at one point wanted to leave her husband and she didn't, and they stayed married for 60 odd years until his death. I think I might have put too much on. And they got over that patch where things were going strange for them for some reason. They just got through it. So that's what I would say to anybody on here now who might be watching this, or they've got a member of their family who's going through a bad time at the minute. Remember, that bad time is at the minute. And this minute will change into the next minute and the next minute. And the trick is to make the next minute count. Work at your relationship. Work at your marriage. It's important. Particularly where there's children, it's important. I know when I look back at my mum and Alfie's mum, my granny. Well, my granny had quite a bit of money, but that's another story. But, you know, my mum wasn't wealthy, Alf's mum wasn't wealthy, and my mum had 10 children. I haven't blended in properly, have I? My mum had 10 children. Alfie's mum had 7. And I'm sure that there was maybe a miscarriage, I don't know, during those days. It was stressful, you know, in the war years and what have you. And when I think, you know, with all those kids to care for, to cook for, really, I mean, my mum, and I know Alfie's mum used to do it as well, have dinner on the table every night for when people came home, every single night. And the washing was done, the ironing was done using Wet n Wild highlighter and that brush. They had the dinner on the table every night, and Sundays, Sunday lunch, usually while I know our dad used to go for a drink to the pub before lunch of a Sunday, because Alf told me, but my brothers used to as well, you know, my older brothers used to go, and my stepdad, bastard he was. But, and that's another story. But they always worked so hard, my mum and Alf's mum, and they didn't have all the equipment that we have, and they didn't have crock pots, and they didn't have washing machines, and, you know, everything that we have, that we're fortunate enough to have, that we take for granted. Is my blusher gone? Oh, it is. I've put my makeup in this, look, rather than keep it in a makeup bag, I'm having to keep unzipping it. But, you know, they managed, they coped, Alfie's mum and my mum, and during the war years, and Alfie was born in 1938. And as a baby, he still remembered being in the air raid shelter with his mum and his dad and that. And he still remembers being in the air raid shelter, and the bombs were dropping, could hear them falling, and when I started to cry and the other kids started to cry, and Alfie's mum would say, it's snow falling off the roof, it's just snow falling off the roof, probably the middle of summer. But they had it so hard, didn't they? And you've got to admire them, really have. I don't know what I'd have been like, probably a nervous wreck, I don't know. That's another thing. Don't undermine yourself and beat yourself up over things and degrade yourself. I've just done it now by saying that. I don't know how I would have coped. I would have coped. I know I would have coped. So why did I say that stupid thing about myself? I would have coped. Admirably. And I would have helped others too. You know. But I can safely say that my mum and my mother-in-law were both remarkable women. And I look forward eventually to being reunited with everybody. Oh, can you imagine that? Can you imagine? This is Miracle Glow Illuminator. Can you see? It will be just such a fabulous reunion. I wonder what you all think about the afterlife and what comes next and the next big thing. It's quite fascinating to think of, isn't it? You gain all this wisdom, or you should, throughout life, and then you're snuffed out like a candle. But energy doesn't die. So where does all that energy go? Where does all this knowledge and love and where did it all go? I think people who've got closed minds are very foolish indeed. Even Albert Einstein admitted, should I put red on? Rouge edition, bourgeois, yeah, bourgeois rouge edition. So, it might be worthwhile your while writing down my aneurysms, and when the day is bleak and you're feeling bleak, look at them and live by them. And this video's run on too long and I need to get dressed. I'm going to come back on, and I've got some under the bed storage things, boxes, that I want to put some of the stuff on the wardrobe there, all that new stuff I want to put in there, and tell you as well about an apartment that we've seen just this morning, and it's not far from where I live. It's not to buy, unfortunately. Well, there is one to buy, but until I've sold this, I'm not in a position to buy it. But there's one to rent, and it's lovely, and they've refurbished it and everything, and it's not far from where I live, not far from the village, and it's £700 a month, and it's available from the 30th of December, long-term let, so I could be in there forever, I suppose, if I wanted to. I do like it, haven't been to see it, don't know whether we'll be able to go and see it because of the COVID thingy, but I'm considering it, I am, because what I was thinking was I could move in and take what furniture I want with me, leave the rest here, so the house will look lived in and look nice, etc. And of course my kids will come and stay occasionally, and just sell it, you know, wait to sell it, and if it's sold within 6 months, which I expect it to be, then I can either buy a place or continue to rent. Don't know, it's a dilemma. I'd love to know your thoughts. I'll speak to you all later. Bye-bye.